So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope all these videos which I've been posting regularly, they are adding some value to all of you. And the simplification mission which I have taken up is appearing relevant and useful to you. So please do write and share your feedback, your suggestions on my email nirmalraghav@gmail, or you can go to straight my channel Nirmal Singh Raghav and leave your thoughts there. Trust me, it is important for me, and I assure you that I will try to adapt and make things better, keeping your expectations, your suggestions, and your feedback in mind. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do take some time out and do me this favor. Help me in knowing me more than what I know myself. So I look forward for your views. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to pick up a word which is again an important word, again a strong word, and the word in reference today is word called character. Now we say that, look, anyway, I mean, this person is a man with a solid character, and the character of a person gets tested when the person is into a difficult time, and you display your character when you're put under pressure. Okay, so these are the certain statements which we come across when we talk about the word character. Okay, and I have been reading of late people like John Matone who have written about leadership, and they talk about how important the concept of character is for a person to become an effective leader. Okay, and for that matter, another author who is one of my favorite author, Robert Greene, has written a book, and he also talks about character. So, and there are other authors also who have shared their experience, their understanding with reference to this word character. Okay, but let me tell you that this character is not only an individualistic term. So there is a character of an individual, there is a character of a community. Okay, and there's a character of even the organization. Okay, and the character is something which determines your destiny. Now let us understand the origin of the word character. The character originates from a Greek word which means engraving, or it originates from a word which means stamping. Okay, so when I say character, it's something which is stamped on me, it is something which is engraved on me. Okay, and this engraving happens over a period of time. I was sharing with you in one of my earlier video that, look, this stamping or this engraving happens when we were born. We were born with very limited circuits and with very limited ability to comprehend. But then as we grow and as the circuitry also grows in the brain, and then there are people around us who stamp, who write, and who engrave, and then we develop a response orientation on the basis of the way we've gone through those formative years experience. So the first people who write a character are our parents, because they tell us a lot of stuff which determines our emotional patterns. Okay, how you have been brought up, the type of a care which you have gone through, the type of experiences your parents and you could get during your childhood would determine what is being engraved on you. And then you move forward in the journey, and there are other people in the life who make a difference in terms of stamping things on you, and all that stamping becomes a part of your subconscious. Okay, so whatever has happened in your childhood, whatever has happened in your formative school days, all that gets into sort of a stamping, and it's that stamping which you generally carry throughout your life, and that stamping determines your destiny. And hence it is said that, look, your character is your destiny. Now the question comes is that, look, how do we understand this term character with reference to each one of us? Okay, so we'll have to first of all calm down and dispassionately try to figure out what is called as a pattern. Okay, because this character has this word built into it, which is pattern. Okay, and why I'm using the word pattern is something which is repetitive, something which is happening consistently over a period of time. So that's called pattern. Okay, so there is a pattern which I display, there is a pattern which I live, there is a pattern which you display, and there's a pattern which you also live. Okay, so we all have a pattern which we live. And interestingly, the pattern which we live, most of the time and most of us are not aware of that pattern. We take that as something which is very natural behavior and a natural response, without realizing that, look, we are nothing else but a pattern which is in action. Okay, and a pattern would repeat, and we would commit things in our life or do mistakes in our life not only once, but we'll do those mistakes many times. So please look back. So if somebody who has lived 30 years, 40 years, or whatever your age is, okay, now you please look back and try to see a pattern that, look, is there a consistent display of certain emotions, certain behavior, the way you respond to certain situation, the way you respond to certain type of people. Let's look at something like the amount of courage which you have shown in all these years, the gratitude which you show, the loyalty which you show, the diligence which you show. So these are some of the words which are manifestation of some type of a behavior. So look back and try to figure out the pattern. And if you carefully do it, I know it is difficult, but it is possible. So what is engraved and what is being stamped, it does not mean that it cannot change, because the recent research says that, look, your brain is plastic even till the last day of your life. So the plasticity or the possibility of changing the patterns, changing the circuitry is always there. So first of all, understanding your own character, and then try to understand the character of other people. But it is all about pattern. Okay, it is all about pattern of emotional response. It's about a reaction to certain type of situations. And interestingly, I told you that, look, we keep doing this, and we don't realize that, look, we keep doing this, and we keep creating situations which we may not be looking forward for. So I desire something, but then I don't get it. Okay, and I don't get it, and then I blame that, look, it's all because of the luck. I don't think it's all because of the luck. Okay, it's because of the way you respond to the situation, and there is a pattern through which you've been responding. So you need to understand that pattern, you need to change the pattern. When you change the pattern, the reality which emerges and the way you connect with the reality goes through a change. So if somebody who's not been showing courage all throughout his life, there'll be a pattern that, look, whenever there is a need for courage, here is a person who's not there on the floor. While there are people who are courageous and they've taken the cause not only for themselves, but they've taken up the cause of people in the organization, and they are the people who are courageous. Okay, so that's the character. Okay, and such people who have that courageous nature will show this pattern. Okay, you'll find that, look, irrespective of the organization they work with, they will show this pattern of being courageous. Okay, and those who are not courageous, they'll also show that pattern. Okay, now that doesn't mean that, look, all people who are not showing the signs of courage cannot become courageous. Yes, you can become courageous, provided you're able to understand that emotion which is making you less courageous. Okay, so it's a lot of thinking it's a lot of looking inside yourself, going back to your childhood, going back to your school, college, and then your career up till now, and trying to figure out what is that pattern which I've been displaying, and the pattern which I've been living. And once you understand it, then there is a possibility of changing it. So first of all, recognizing this fact that look, there is something called character which is engraved. Number two, when you agree on the point one, then you try to look into the point two, that look, let me understand what is my character. And to understand my character, what are the words which revolve around this concept of character? So Robert Greene talks about desirable character, and he also talks about toxic characters. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I mean, when we meet people, when we uh, are in group of people, we can also observe what character people are showing. Okay. So I remember somebody saying that, look, the way you behave with the person who is the junior most in the organization, or someone who is at the lowest rung of the organization, shows what your character is. So there are multiple versions and multiple incidences which are being quoted by people to get an understanding on this subject of the character. Okay. So think about it, check the pattern and understand the pattern, and with peaceful conscious level, you'll be able to get connected with what is called the subconscious. Okay, because there's a lot of this is happening at a subconscious level. Okay, and what is happening at a subconscious level, we are living with it, but the irony is that look, we are not aware of it, and that is why the word subconscious. But there is always a dialogue between a conscious and a subconscious. Okay, and your subconscious can be changed and can be worked upon with your consciousness. And consciousness means being aware, being there with the reality. So your conscious has to be peaceful to get into your subconscious. If you are disturbed at a conscious level, you have multiple issues, this pressure, this problem, that problem, then you will generally be not getting in touch with your subconscious, which is 10 times more powerful than your conscious. So ladies and gentlemen, please look into this, that character can make your destiny, and change in character is possible. Your character is something which is stamped on you, it's engraved over a period of time by multiple people, and then after a certain stage in life, you keep living that character. Okay, but it's possible to change it. It's possible to change it in line with the type of results we are looking forward for. So especially the HR guys, if you recruit people, try to figure out what is the character of the person whom you are recruiting. Okay, and interesting story by Munshi Premchand, which is about Namak Ka Daroga. I think that's where the story is about recruiting a daroga. And those days, the daroga for salt used to be a very, very key and a critical position in the setup. And this person was tested on his character all throughout his journey from the railway station to the village where he was supposed to be the Namak Ka Daroga. So that's the character as defined by Munshi Premchand. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening me. And please do write back to me, and please do share your feedback on my channel Nirmal Singh Raghav on YouTube. And I look forward to connect with you once again. Thank you very much, and have a great day and have a wonderful evening.